Hey, welcome to another Creative Day Tuesdays, where we talk creative development on Tuesdays. I'm here with Cay. How's it going, man?
Can't complain. Same shit, different toilet. I fucked my knee up last night, though.
Ah, man, that 4th of July celebration.
Yeah, that. My 4th of July celebration went on for like 3 days.
Was it a little off the walls?
There was a lot off the walls. Trees were being burnt down. Fucking.
Always you and your stories, man.
Face planning and shit. No,
so that squeaky is the grinder. Just in case anybody listening is curious, we're about to smoke while we do today's episode.
Like always.
Yeah. For those who didn't know. So today's episode, I wanted to actually spend a little time talking about Marvel's newest Avenger, who is technically the oldest Avenger by continuity standards set by the story, Captain Marvel. Being that she is the inspiration for what made the Avengers.
I'm confused. How is she the oldest Avenger? Is it because her call sign was Avenger?
By my justification.
That's cheating. That's cheating. The oldest Avenger is Cap. He's the first Avenger.
He's the first Avenger, yeah, definitely. I'll take that back then. But by just sheer like age, I have to give that to Captain Marvel because like we know that she's going to live longer than him, and she don't age. Okay,
that is true. But technically, she is only about like around 50 years old. Cap is like 200 or something. By the time Endgame is over with.
No, he's not. Remember, we did the math. It was like 150 max. Even with the whole like going back in time and living his life and coming back and
how? Hold on, we're gonna have a small debate. Okay, because in Winter Soldier he said that he was 98 years old, right?
And a whole 10 years passed from that.
Okay, 108, and then he went. Yeah, okay, you're right. 10 years different. Okay, so he went back in time, back to 1945. And he lived all the way again back to 2023. That's 150 years old?
No, he didn't live all the way back to 2023. Remember, the Russo said that he came back. That's how, like, that
he lived all the way to his 2023 and came back to get to the main 2023. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has to be over 150 years old, dog. Like, 150, that's not cutting it. Because he lived
less than 200 though.
He lived a full life.
Okay, so you add an additional 70 years to that 108. That's still less than 200 years old.
Whatever, round the fuck up, dude. Round up, dog. He's like 200 years old.
It's cool. Captain America ages though, like an everyday person. Come to find out,
he ain't supposed to.
He isn't supposed to. He isn't supposed to. And I think that was more so just so that he can get that last dance. And justifiably, like, write him out. We got old man Cap. This is about the wrong Cap.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna do shit. He ain't gonna be kicking ass though. Like in the comics, old man Cap was still kicking ass.
Kicking ass and taking names and running shield.
For real. That nigga old man Cap just went to go lay down in the MCU. He just went to go lay down.
You know, I'm really curious though to see how Captain Marvel is going to differ from her comic book counterpart because nobody likes her in the comics.
I know.
Rhodey liked her before he died.
Rhodey loved her, but that's beside the point. He was fucking her, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, blinded when you're blinded.
I was trying to catch up on the Avengers cartoon, Avengers Assembled, and it was like when like they introduced Captain Marvel and Black Panther and like bringing like just updating it and stuff. I can't get past her voice and I can't get past her attitude because like in the show she is such a dick and it pisses Cap off. It's so funny, but I was like, oh man, dude.
Yeah, like that's how she is in the comics. She's just a dick, and it's like it's where Captain America and Captain Marvel truly differ because where we see the split and it's like we see that. Even more so with Chris Evans' Captain America, because we see him split from duty versus the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Where Captain Marvel in the comics has always been duty, duty, duty. It doesn't matter what the right thing is to do, is what's her duty.
I mean, in the comics, she was about to arrest a 15-year-old kid for a vision that could have happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't even set to happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't guaranteed to happen. It was a possibility.
Which the introduction of Captain Marvel makes me believe that they're going to do Civil War 2. And this time it's going to be better because they can use mutants instead of Inhumans.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to see a Civil War 2. I just think that it won't happen considering two of the biggest players are out of the MCU. I mean, I get it. They can always substitute them for Falcon, Cap, and like substitute Iron Man for for Peter Parker or whatever. But me personally, I don't think it'd be as impactful.
To be honest, I think you can still do Civil War 2 without using Spider-Man as the lead, and you can do it with Black Panther and Captain Marvel. And have those two kind of oppose instead of it being Peter and Captain Marvel.
The compelling thing about Civil War 2 was that Tony was rallying the heroes because he already been through that. He already walked that line.
So is Black Panther. In the MCU, Black Panther was during that Civil War that he wasn't on their team during the fallout.
He didn't give a shit about the Sokovia Accords. He was only there to avenge his father. That's different.
I get that. But by virtue of what whose side he ended up siding with, he was still part of it.
I guess. I mean, personally, it wouldn't be as impactful. I wouldn't be as intrigued, to be quite honest. For the simple fact that, I don't know, you call it bias or however you want to say the words, say what you will, but for the simple fact that Tony's lived, I don't know. I mean, you bring up Black Panther and I'm saying Tony's lived that life, not thinking that T'Challa's probably lived that life either, considering that he's a diplomat and shit like that. But I don't know. These are, in my eyes, these were two people that worked for the government. T'Challa, technically, for him, is the government. I mean, but tell us what you think in the comments, guys. Would that be compelling?
I don't even think that they would do it exactly the same as the comics. Of course, and when I say we get a Civil War 2, I think it'd just be in title alone.
Are you thinking of it's just called Civil War 2, but they make it the original Civil War from the comics? It could having Nitro,
or, because whatever. Take Civil War 1. It wasn't like the comics at all.
I mean, the only thing that sparked it was a building blow up. That was pretty much the only thing that was different was the bomb was Crossbones, and in the comics the bomb was fucking Nitro.
Yeah.
So whatever.
So it's we can still get a Civil War where it's Carol arguing. When I say Civil War, I just mean Carol is on one side, Black Panther's on the other. It could be about arguing. It could be a split between the Avengers on who should lead the Avengers, because they have two vastly different ways of leading a team.
I guess with me, I'd have to see how Black Panther 2 does, or how definitely. Because in my mind,
Captain Marvel 2.
Well, not for me, not really Captain Marvel, because I'm still in the fact that
because I'm still not convinced that I like Captain Marvel. Even with her movie.
That's fine, but for Civil War, I'm still in the mindset of Iron Man and Carol both worked for the American government. So they both have that, two different sides of the same coin aspect. Mm-hmm. With T'Challa, he doesn't, even in the comics of the day, he doesn't really give a shit about the American government. He only cares about Wakanda.
But so for him he shares, outside of the liking or
but that's
caring
that's
about
why I'm
Wakanda.
saying, because it's that's where the motive lies. If a person doesn't care about something that's happening with another government, then why should he step up to be hey, you're wrong about what's going on in your country? And step in to protect that. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I would have to stand by your point with saying how
that's what if Black Panther 2, because if he's more involved in American politics,
but here's a big thing that you're also forgetting. Wakanda has stepped out to the world.
That's why I'm saying I'd have to see how Black Panther 2 goes, because they stepped out to the world in the comics numerous times and still have not gave a shit about American politics. Yeah. So I'm saying if Black Panther 2,
and that's to assume that the next Civil War is about American politics. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was this time. Like
in Black Panther 2, if T'Challa is, let's say Wakanda and American politics kind of merged or whatever, right? Like they become like a joint nation or something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. Then I will be inclined to be like, okay, I can see that, you know, but I don't know where Wakanda lies. I mean, I'm assuming that Ramada, T'Challa's mother, opened the borders and the nation like they were planning to do, because from what it seems like, and when Infinity War came around, they still weren't really open to the nation like that. Like they were still in the process of opening up to the nation and stuff. And
I feel like that was a bit sidetracked, or they were a bit caught off guard being snapped. Like that.
But I'm talking about even before the snap. I'm talking about when they arrived to Wakanda. You know what I mean?
But until we see like you said, Black Panther 2 is going to be the key, because I feel like it's going to fill in gaps that we are missing from Black Panther 1 and Infinity War and Endgame.
Because at the end of Endgame, they're obviously standing in the Wakandan palace looking over Wakanda. Now, mind you, there was in Black Panther 1, there are some parts of Wakanda that's very highly advanced and some parts that are still very traditionalist. At the end of Endgame, to me at least, it seemed like all of Wakanda had just advanced, with some people still kind of keeping a hold onto that traditional value, but the whole country in of itself is open and advanced.
That was the theme in Black Panther, or rather the subplot theme in Black Panther.
I know that's what they were trying to obtain. What I mean is like how the Jabari tribe went off because they were like, well, we're traditionalists. Or when they were coming back at the beginning.
But it wasn't just the Jabari tribe.
No,
it was also the Guards tribe. The ones that basically, not the Dora Milaje, but the men that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not even talking about within the border of Wakanda. Like, the border is just over the main like hub of Wakanda. Before they even enter the border. Like when they're flying in and you see those people on horseback and stuff, right? And they're waving at the jet and stuff. That's still Wakanda. That's still very rural, if you want to say it, or very tribal, or if you want to say it.
I took it a bit different. And before we get back on track, because we're almost halfway through this whole video. But how I took it was more so of, I think that there comes a point, Wakanda is very spiritual, and I believe that spirituality grew with their technology, which is why they have these values of tradition integrated within their technology. I think it's part of, because it's like when you think about what Wakanda is a country that knows that a God exists. How do they know that this God exists? Because their king is given power. And it's not some false power. It's legitimate power that is furthered with the physical proof of vibranium. And our whole country thrives off of this metal. So it's like, to believe that they have still aspects or still a spiritual connection, knowing that their God is a fucking panther, to their animals and to their traditional roots of Africa, it makes sense.
I get that. I think we're getting our wires crossed. What I'm trying to say is, like the Jabari, how they just pushed off the technology, period. Like they just didn't want any parts of it. And wrap around to Endgame, what I'm saying, it looked like the mom kind of, even though it's a brief a glimpse and they're celebrating the return or whatever, it looked like the mom was able to unite the tribes that forsaken the technology because of what happened in Endgame. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I definitely can't agree with the
I wouldn't
idea.
be surprised if the Jabari, when we see the Jabari next time, they are a little bit more technologically advanced than Black Panther, than the first movie. You know, instead of fighting with hardened Wakandan wood, they actually have technology.
I feel like she had to, like, for example, share the vibranium.
That's what I meant. Like she brought them all together.
Stable.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
I can get with that idea.
Yeah.
So on that thought, we're going to unfortunately go on hiatus.
Let's get back on.
No, we're actually at our break.
We got to break it.
Unfortunately, this is the end of part 1. We will seriously get into this.
We had a little bit of Captain Marvel in it.
Yeah, we will get into more Captain Marvel in part 2. For those listening to us on Spotify and other platforms like Anchor, stay tuned while we take this short intermission.
Right.
Yeah, we went on for 15 minutes. Not about Captain Marvel.
About Black.